So let's try that here. 1 2 1 2. Alright, I think we should be good. Welcome everybody. I am Dark Shino. Primarily I play a lot of mobile gotcha games of that type of sort. This is my first kind of game with this turf type of warfare. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Grand Mafia. Been playing this game almost 3 months. It's been a little over 2 months. And been wanting to try and help out my faction with the video, so hopefully I'll make this little quick video here to help out some possibly new players that may be watching, and also shout outs to Optogram and the homies there. And let's get into it. So this game, basically, like we said, a turf building game. You have your mansion, you have your buildings that support your mansion, you have troops, your crew that you send out, and they also defend for you, they fight for you. Some of these games get you kind of with the wait times, because in order to get stronger, right, you have to build and invest and train all these characters. So I want to try and help out to speed up that process. So to start off, one of the very first things that you want to start doing in this game is building up your turf, which is all these buildings you see here. The first thing they'll probably make you make is a training center. Training centers are where your troops get trained up at. You click the little bar graph icon here. You see my crew. I have over 500,000 crew. Your crew is made up of 3 different types of primary attackers, and then you have motor cars. Motor cars are basically the red-headed stepchild that is only good against walls. So in PvP, you can send out a few of these rocket rhinos or M32 cruisers, which you'll see here. These are rocket rhinos, cruisers. You do not need many of these, and what you do need are tons and tons of these fine crewmen here, which are called bruisers, hitmen, and bikers. Click here. It's basically a RPS type system. Bruisers counter hitmen, hitmen counter bikers, bikers counter bruisers. All 3 of these counter the motor cars, and motor cars counter the wall. So this is the system that we have, and we're going to go a little bit in depth into how you boost these up, besides training up, because of course you're going to need a lot of troops to attack or defend or what have you, but you're also going to need to make them as strong as you possibly can. Let's start by going into enforcers. So enforcers are basically the same types as well. So you have this fella here, can't see his face, but Lupo is a biker. You get him in the event. That's why he is my only grand enforcer. You get the different ascensions. I guess that's not the right word to call it. Upgrades by getting multiple copies, and well, you can farm this this enforcer here. He's great in campaign, but he's not super great in battles against other players. So great for fighting kingpins. This one right here is a bruiser enforcer. What she's gonna do, she's kind of a mixed bag, because this is one of the important things here is that you need a construction speed, so she provides you that once you upgrade her to elite. Elite +2, you see I have +12.8, and energy limit, which is for battling kingpins, get an increase on that. but this is the main one that's going to help you increase the rest of your bruiser's attack or defense or HP. So this one right here, the protection, is why I use her primarily in defense. Mike is my main underboss, so he is my strongest like bruiser enforcer that has multiple combat stat increases. So he has plus 20 HP and plus 12 attack. So when I'm sending out a crew to like rob a casino or fight another player's mansion or complete a raid, he's normally the main person that I have in here because he is the one that gives me all these bonuses here called specialties. As you can see, he also has all this gear on him, so he also provides me various gear based off the gear set, which we'll get into a little bit. I'm trying to go a little bit quickly because I know I can ramble on here. So about enforcers here, you can switch them out. Maybe hit this little refresh icon to the right side. Like we talked about the counters, if I were to be fighting a bunch of bikers, then I'm going to switch to here, Sparrow. Sparrow here is my strongest hitman type enforcer. So if I switch to her, then I'm going to do more damage with my hitman, because she's going to give me all these increases here. So 14% defense and 8.4% attack. So this is kind of the strategy part of this game, is that doing the most with what you have, and how you build that up, we're going to talk about that a little bit. So here, every player has an underboss, and you want to stack your underboss with equipment, right? So this equipment here is the most important equipment in the game, in my opinion. The investors and the architect, which is going to increase your investment speed and your construction speed. So just for an example, I have on challenger type gear, a mixture of a whole bunch of crap that's not really going to do me anything. So I'm going to try and construct a building, and let's see how long it takes. 31 days. So that's how a lot of these games now, they get you into really trying to get stronger quickly. But this game is actually about strategizing, right? So if you equip the gear that's gonna shorten this time, it's gonna help you out a lot. So let's put on some construction gear. So this is plus 10%. This one's plus 13. Don't mind my green pants here. Obviously, they're not the best here, but as you can see, I'm getting more and more construction speed. Gear put on my boss, and now when I go and try, that 31 days is now reduced to 19. So over 10 days cut down just off of gear alone. And as we looked at some of the enforcers, there's also enforcers that will reduce that even further. So lots of strategizing in this game to get stronger quickly, right? On that note, specialties. So as you can see right now, I have quite a few specialties. None of them are super good. So if your focus is getting stronger, I've leveled up my investment enough to have what they call a USB kit. So by going to this farming, what I call my farming set, this is what you want to go for. You want to go for construction speed, investment speed, training speed, there's more of the same. You know, you have multiple tiers down here, and this one right here, crew load capacity. So when you are gonna go and rob towels to increase the resources that you have, because everything that you do requires resource, right? You need wood or cargo, you need metal, cash, and bullets for all your weapons and all that. So you want to invest in, or you want to use your specialties in growing. And if you're going to be in combat, well, this is kind of my combat type setup here. So if you click this here, the information button at the top right, it tells you, like, I have bruiser attack, hitman attack, and some biker attack, and then a bunch of crew enhancements. So that is specialties as well, where you can increase your power. And like we talked about the gear is also, you have a workshop here, depending on what crew type you want to focus into. You start collecting these contracts for the type of gear that you want. So if you're a bruiser, basically, if your underboss is level 40, you're allowed to build up this gear here, which all you need are these items here from challenging kingpins, which is not bad at all. I feel like the kingpin system is probably the most friendly thing, like as far as combat wise, because all it takes is just time. Like, RNG is, inevitable, but RNG is kind of harsh, actually. I'm not gonna lie. In this game, they make it extremely hard for some of the rare items to drop. So that set in particular is not bad, but some of the sets, they don't even allow you to get RNG. So this set right here is probably the best set in the game. You cannot craft without purchasing these contracts. So like a contract is like normally a drop from a kingpin that you use to create or upgrade your gear. So let's move on over to this side here. As you can see, my training, like you normally should not be training this many troops at one time. Like, I'm training 6,000 plus at a time. Well, that's just what I'm comfortable with, because I like having a lot of troops training at one time, so I can go AFK for hours at a time. Like, I can go to sleep at night and not have to worry about my troops being sitting there idle. So that's why I have training centers. But the most important thing is that you have enough hospitals, so that if you get attacked or you attack someone and you lose, your hospital will protect your troops. And if your hospital capacity is high enough, then if you're defending, your troops will never die. So at some point, these hospitals on this right side, so like these tiles here on the right side are where you can build your hospitals. If you just go down this right side in the bottom, and you can demolish, you can convert. If I want to, transition from the training centers to hospitals, which I will eventually, obviously. Like, my training centers are level 7, and my hospitals are slowly getting up there, so that when I do go to war, and there will be war, right now I'm in a very friendly city that we have rules that allow all the players here to grow, provided they're in a faction. So if you join a faction, we will abide by the rules, and you won't get attacked randomly and your resources stolen. So definitely look out for that. Like, you can find a faction first off that you feel comfortable with, that you enjoy the company, and you're growing together. You participate in events together, and that's the most important thing, because there's strength in numbers, right? So once I show you, I believe our faction is like top 4 in our current city, and we used to be top 3, top 4 in the previous city that we moved from. But yes, this is your number one safety net here, is that you can help out your faction members. So like, as you can see, there's a speed up system, so those ridiculous 30-day, 40-day construction times, you can reduce that by helping out your members, helping out your mates. So like, you can see my level 20 hospital has gotten reduced time of 15 hours. That's crazy. So the higher, the more faction members that help you, the higher amount of time gets reduced. So let me go ahead and help my mates here. All right, and there's also basically static buffs here that you get just by being in the faction. Like we just saw, the specialties. It's essentially specialties, but for your faction. And if you just provide your faction a little bit of your resources, then everybody will benefit. Everybody will get like faster investment speed, which is so important. Investment speed and construction speed, training speed. That's what you want to do when you're starting out. Alright, so I think that's enough about the basic system starting out. Let's go into so I want to briefly talk about these buildings here. So as one of the members of my faction that raids, this was my very first building that I wanted to focus on maxing out. And these are very unique in that they don't take normal resources to level up. This faction club actually requires a special item called liquor. This one requires handcuffs, and this one requires shackles. And essentially, the only way to efficiently get these is by buying them with gold. So, brain fart. I only have 30,000 gold. I know from leveling up my faction club that the last upgrade takes, I believe, 4,000 of the resource. So I'm nowhere near enough to level up another one after all this time playing and just getting this faction club level 25. Pretty much all my gold is spent. So I want you to be careful about all the temptation of using gold, and I want you to save that gold until you determine if you're gonna be like a raider. Then you focus on the faction club. If you're gonna be doing like PvP combat, then the hostage cell and the interrogation room, which I'm not gonna go too big into it, but you can, as you can see, imprison or execute an enemy underboss. And then here you can get increased stats. You get your buffs for completing the execution. You get a increase like movement speed, HP, and attack, which is pretty sick. Once you level it up enough, that's gonna be very huge for you. All right, so I'm not gonna get into every single building here, but next here, this is my faction. This is Octagram. We are the Octagram family. We are kind of in a. We just completed our underground market, which is where we get free tokens basically for completing by destroying the market once it opens up. So it's on cooldown right now, so we're just kind of laid back chilling right now. No events really going on, but it's pretty fun. Like sometimes there's raids like from cops, or there's kill events where we're helping out. But as you can see, like a lot of people sending out troops to go raid or go steal resources here. So let's get into that a little bit. So The systems that we have here, I'm gonna move this out the way. Action points for attacking casinos and scavenger hunts. So this is a just a little attack towel. So what you can do, you can just raw attack it. If you know you have the numbers, you just send all your crew. Like I have 230,000 crew members that I can send along with my enforcers. But what you're supposed to do, the proper way to play the game, is you recon first. Recon is going to send out a little motorcycle, one motorcycle unit here to go scope around, look at the place, see who's in there, see who's about you're about to fight. You should get your recon report. It tells you there are 80,000 speed demons, along with Salado, at this tile here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna remember what we talked about earlier about counters. We're gonna send all our marksmen, because marksmen are the counter to speed demons. And matter of fact, let me show you. I have 100. It takes 100k marksmen. I can't even I have more hard hitters than anything, and I can't even fight them. I can't even get a neck and neck. So we're gonna send all our marksmen here. And if we were really bold, like, actually we already have Miss Trish Miller the Sparrow here. We're gonna get our strongest sets here on. So we were talking about underboss equipment. Put our underboss equipment on. That's gonna boost our damage. You can see like the bruiser, hitman attack, and all that good stuff. So we're putting all this stuff on. Now let's see. It should take even less, right? Yeah, well, actually, it's about the same, but the stats do make a difference, especially when you're getting in the battles that are close, because there is an attack limit. So you are limited how many people you can send on an attack. However, if you're defending, your entire crew is there to back you up and help you out. So unless someone is gonna raid you, then if you have a certain amount of crew and a certain amount of stats, you should be fine. And should, provided you have enough hospitals, because any of your people that get defeated in the defense will go straight to your hospital. You don't have to worry about it, provided your hospital cap is enough. So while that's going, let's explain the other systems. We have an energy system here, and these are the kingpins, like we were talking about, the contracts. You need contracts in order to upgrade and make your equipment. So let's find someone real quick here. I like mob bosses. Mob bosses are for accessories, which you can definitely stack up. And I found that accessories will give you a whole lot of bang for your buck as far as upgrades. So each boss will have a different enforcer that is most effective versus him. So if you go to the information here, you see here that he has high physical defense. So whichever enforcer that you have that's your strongest, first off, that's the most important thing. The music is louder than my voice. I turned it down too. What's up, Elbow? I appreciate that feedback, man. Because I was trying to do some mic checks earlier. I think this game is just naturally loud. Okay. Is that better? Trying to make a quick little video for my guild mates. It's going a little longer, but it's better than the first one that I tried, because the first one I tried, I had the mic on mute by accident. I'm supposed to be good with technology too, but we're talking about kingpins now. Kingpins, the one that you fight first off should be the one that you want. So like if you want shoes, detective is the only one that's gonna drop the contract for the shoes. So actually, let's see here. So our attack went through. We won with 6,000 wounded. However, he lost 60,000 of his bikers there. So as you can see, we had a very good victory here. So that is an action point. So now I can just accept that. I can go start up another one. This is a recon mission. It's just gonna send another one of those bikers out there. So we were gonna look at our enforcers here, because we saw that the mob boss has high physical defense. So how you do to check the type of your enforcer? Go to your battle skills. You click on the I guess that's like a crosshair, and then you click on battle skills, and it shows you their attributes right here. This is my only grand enforcer, but he's physical, so he's not going to be as effective as she's physical. I know just by memory. He's a tank. He's physical as well. Here's my strongest kinetic. So they have physical and kinetic attacker. So even though she's blue, she's rare, she's going to be more effective against the mob boss than my Grand Lupo. So what you're gonna do, I want you to look at the mob or the kingpin that you're gonna fight. In this case, the mob boss. Put your strongest kinetic attackers in. Who's also kinetic here? Someone that I want to use is actually still out, so I want to use her. So it gets kind of like cool, like this game here. So she has a skill that reduces their defense, so it's kind of no-brainer. She's pretty good, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and use her as well as soon as my attack crew comes back. So they got 30 seconds left on that. Let's look at some of the other enforcers here. So they have skills, so if you send them in combat, that they're gonna do on the regular. So her in particular, she just does massive damage. That's her unique skill. She has an automatic skill that's just gonna do AoE, like a spray and pray. And she has a stun also, so she's really good in like single battle situations. So that's why if you look at the strategy for a lot of the other players that are fighting kingpins, you will see her quite a bit. So this is why I'm starting to level her up a little bit more. And she has an increased physical crit, so she is, and you see a physical attacker here. So our crew should be back, and gosh dang it, someone from my faction is attacking the kingpin I was gonna attack. So it's a little too slow here to start it out. So let's find another one. Choose Taco here. So we're gonna go after this one here. But okay. That's so it also remembers, right? Like if you fight one of these guys, one of these kingpins, they will save your last lineup, which is kind of nice. So he this is a enforcer that is, I'd say, pretty good, but he's bad in that the only way you can get him is from packs. We were talking about the ways that you level up your enforcers. Well, Look here, it can only be obtained from special events or packs. So if there's no pack, so as you see, the other way that they get you on buying not just speed ups and resources like liquor is the enforcers. So sometimes there'll be pretty good events where you don't have to spend money for these enforcers, which is kind of how I started out. There was a random wheel event, forget what it's called, but you can get them enforcers in the events as well. So let's see, we're about to fight our mob boss here. I believe I should be able to kill him in 2 hits. Oh wow, my damage is tiny. But guess why? I forgot to switch my equipment set. All this equipment here is not for kingpins. So I have these 2 pieces of equipment here that weren't on, that were going to increase my damage by 3% and 4%. And then I like to have this one on because why not get more underboss XP? So that's where we're missing out on a little bit of damage. While I'm waiting on that, because I want to make sure everyone can hear me pretty good. Turn it down a little bit more. Another thing you can do is you can send multiple waves. So like if I wanted to use up all my energy, I can do that, and I wouldn't have to wait as long for him to go out and come back. But one of the investments is that if you challenge the same kingpin multiple times, you get damage increase, which is, you know, kind of necessary. Like you see, 30% is not a whole lot, right? So when you're starting out, don't be upset that you're not hitting, you know, massive chunks of damage at the start. So that's why this is a long kind of game. Like, right, you have all these different energy resource caps and stuff like that you know you will get with time. You don't have to beat the game at the onset, because it's actually impossible. Even like the strongest players have something to fear. So I can find Hodge, for example. Well, let's just use it. So these are fellow so if you see this player here, 153 million influence. What that means is this player has not only got the crew to back up his base, he's got the investments, the enforcers, he's got quite a bit, the construction, so he's got quite a bit built up in his base. And I've been playing for 2 months. I think this game's been out for like a couple years, but let's see, where is the kingpin we were just fighting? That wasn't it. Here it is. He's down to 18. How much did we do that time? So you have these reports here. Much better. Much better. 46%. So we just got to swing one more time, but we're gonna not worry too much about that. And we showed you the combat, the kind of way you go about fighting. So I'm stuck. I can't challenge the 20 casino because I'm not strong enough yet to beat the 19. And the 19 is basically my weakness, because all 19 is a bunch of bruisers. So like until 2 days ago, I probably only had like a 20k bikers, which Now I need at least 200k tier 3 bikers. Yeah, so they kind of force you to like mix up. So even though I thought I could play the game as a bruiser hitman only, nope. If I want to continue getting stronger, like with the casinos, because you see the rewards are actually can be pretty good. 8 hours of speed ups, gold, like the very limited materials here, the liquor, handcuffs, and shackles. So this is a good way to increase your power by doing stuff on the world map and just participating in events with your fellow faction members. And yeah, just I hope someone found some useful information about this. I'm going to send this to the guild, the faction mates, and see if they can come in and ask some questions if they want to later, because I hope I can get their thoughts and involvement, because we are trying to get stronger for a war. You see from the event, there's a war coming soon. I think it's not this. I'm not sure where I can go to find the Governor's War information at, but basically we're on a mad push to get stronger very quickly, so we're just trying to do everything we can to help everybody, even help ourselves if there's something that we can be doing a little bit more efficient and better. But that's gonna be it for this video. Hope I catch you in game sometime. Hit me up. I am Dark Shino. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day, night, or evening. All right, peace out.